For this lesson, you need to open the sample file Health Club Bookings 5 from your sample files folder. List validations prevent the user from entering any value into a cell that's not contained within a predefined list. In this lesson, we'll create a list containing all of the valid groups, and the user will then not be able to enter an invalid group name in column D. Let's begin by defining the table. So I'll click in cell I24 and type group for the header of the table. Then I'll add the valid groups yoga, aerobics, weight training, aroma therapy, massage, and aquarobics. Now I'm going to convert the range into a table. To do that, I select all of the cells in the range and insert on the ribbon, and in the tables group I click table. Now it's really important that you check the checkbox My Table Has Headers. If you don't do that, the word group in cell I24 will be interpreted as a member of the list, and it would then be able to type group into column D, which would be accepted as a valid group. So I click OK, and my range is converted into a table. Now, with all tables, it's good practice to always name them when you create them. So I'll click anywhere in my table, then Table Tools Design on the ribbon, and on the left-hand side in the Properties group, I'm going to change the default name Table 2 to the more meaningful name Valid Groups, and I'll press the Enter key. Now we're going to use this table in order to create a validation for column D. I think I'll just hide the ribbon by double-clicking any of the ribbon tabs so that we can see both the groups and the entries in column D. So to create the validation, I select all of the cells in column D, then it's Data on the ribbon, and in the Data Tools group, Data Validation. This time the type of validation I want to apply is based upon a list, and the source of the list will be cells I25 to I30. Now you might wonder why we can't simply type equals valid groups into this box, and you would expect that Excel would allow this, but Excel insists upon a range. However, because the range is inside a table, Excel will apply this dynamically. In other words, if I add a new group, then the validation will take this into account. We'll see that happening in a moment. So I'll now click OK in order to test my validation. And when I click on any cell in column D, you'll notice that a little drop-down arrow has appeared on the right-hand side of the active cell. When I click the drop-down arrow, you can see a list of all of the groups in the table, and I'll select weight training. Now, if I were to type an invalid group, let's have, for example, swimming, and press the Enter key, the value fails validation. But I can see that that message isn't very user-friendly, so let's fix that up by selecting all of the cells in column D, then Data and Data Validation once more, and let's add an error alert so that I get a more user-friendly error message. And for the title, I'll have invalid group, and for the error message, the group entered is not a valid group. Click the drop down arrow to view a list of valid choices. And if I click the OK button and just try that once more, this time we'll see a more friendly error message. But what about if I really did want swimming to be one of the activities in my health club? Well, if I click the first empty cell below my table and type swimming into the box, you'll see that swimming is now included in my table. And if I now access the drop-down, you'll see that swimming has become a valid group. Now this only happened because you converted the source cells I24 to I30 into a table. If you hadn't done this, swimming would not have been valid. All that remains for this lesson is to save your work, and I'm going to save with the new name Health Club Bookings 6, and as usual, I'll save to the folder above my sample files folder. I click the Save button, and you've now completed lesson 211. Add a table-based dynamic list validation.